Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's Edward back at you with yet another stream on this fine, non-sweltering Saturday afternoon. And breathe. How's everybody doing? Things are good in my neck of the woods. The family's out up north. So you have my entire undivided attention, excuse me, for the next couple of hours. We'll obviously have some fun. The plan, as always, before we get into the games, will be a combination of Sea of Thieves and Balatro as per normal. Tempted to liven it up tomorrow with some Dead by Daylight. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And yeah, before we, as we naturally do, we dive into everything that's happening in the world of sport. Well, obviously, not an awful lot has happened. Obviously, the draft happened for the NHL, but they're sort of unlikely to move the needle. Obviously, the Golden Knights and the Rangers made a trade for a Russian prospect. I forget the name. But the main one that's happened over the last couple of days in basketball, you'd probably say would be outside of Austin Reeves' extension, would be LaMelo Ball's trade to Minnesota. And I sort of mentioned this on Thursday, where it felt like to me because their playing styles are incredibly similar, it felt like a slightly reactive but somewhat preventative NBA 2K type move designed to prevent Anthony Edwards' situation turning into what we saw with Giannis and the Bucks. And because it really felt like it's feeling like, depending on how it goes, I could very easily in 2 years' time it really starting to dissolve, because obviously it started with them trading Karl-Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, where they subsequently dumped Julius Randle's deal to the Nets, I want to believe. So you've got that where you got Anthony Edwards seeing it pan out for a teammate that was once his. Obviously, you got the backdrop of what they gave up for Rudy Gobert, and that hasn't really worked. And then you see a move like this, where obviously you bring in a brand like LaMelo Ball, but I can't help, even though his stats may be great, any higher level player's stats are going to be good on a bad team. They haven't got any good supporting. They haven't got as much of a good of a supporting cast, and I somewhat question his. I have question marks that I'll happily be proved wrong on his sort of mentality, and he's hardly going to be he's hardly got that Mamba mentality, whereas you'd say Anthony Edwards does, and so this felt like a bit of a reactionary one from a front office perspective. And even though they may say, as you can sort of see the snippet of them getting on well off the court, when it comes to winning it all and all that type of thing, that's where it will very easily dissolve. And even at the same point, you're sort of seeing he's kind of character that seems like he'll be able to get on with anyone. So they're sort of blowing it out proportion in terms of, oh, look at that viral clip. We're going, if he's not showing up in the sort of the bigger games, and that'll quickly wear away. So that's enough on that. Didn't quite read this article, but I was wondering to see if there's anything that jumps out. Josh Downs, meh. J. Cole McMillan. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize the Rams restructured Myles Garrett's contract. Obviously, it's very Myles Garrett Rams contract restructure. The deal immediately boosts his 26 cash to 30 million size. Auction bonuses added 8 void years. Really? Wow. So let me go Rams there. I'll have a look at this. This is actually accurate. Well, it's going to be accurate, but it's 8 point Myles Garrett. Oh my god. Talking about this rather than anything else. Wow. My overarching thought on this is that I can't help thinking void years are getting slightly too far in the nicest possible way. Because if it's giving the top end teams too much of a bailout, well, sort of a workaround from the salary cap, then you're inadvertently creating a upstairs, downstairs, the rich get. You're opening the door for a rich and getting richer type mentality, and 8 years. I did not know that. Wow. It's that's stunning actually. Kevin Looney. Just quickly checking in on this. Thank God. I hope they don't. Anything there's no chance of that happening. Quite simply, when you sort of that sort of article where they're sort of semi-forecasting LeBron to leave LA, potentially sign with the Clippers, I don't think LeBron would even remotely consider that as a tangible possibility, even though Ty Lue is there, just from the simple fact of from a branding or image perspective. Now, he's clearly a very incredible businessman. And I just can't see him making the move to the Clippers. Given where the roster given the roster's its current composition, and also at that same point, and he doesn't want to. But with all the team, yeah, I just can't see it happening, and very much all these types of reports where is he considering the Clippers because he wants to remain in LA, all those types of things. It's just those type of articles don't get leaked unless it's for a specific underlying reason that no one ever gets released, that gets made public. And if it's sort of where even when you're saying he doesn't want to sign for a huge discount, because if there was any sort of clamoring for or notion that he'd take less, his market value would plummet. Just so it's understandable then his camp to take that sort of position, and I can't even see him I can't see LeBron's camp generally considering the Clippers as a tangible possibility, just from the simple fact of what it sort of do, not necessarily to his image, but it's not even. It's hard to picture the Clippers, in a genuine, with where the roster is to be in a genuine position to compete with everything else. And with this, you'd probably say being his last year, it's hardly going to be a sort of soap opera Romeo and Juliet. Well, saying Romeo and Juliet, that's probably a bad analogy, of a swan song type move, where there'd be a final year in LA with the Lakers, or a year, say, going back to Cleveland, that would be for a Netflix-style documentary, and that clearly the capitalist businessman in him would want. So I don't buy it in the slightest. Now he sort of transitioned to very much a Premier League-based thing, and well, two of them on the same article. So the first is actually relating to Bruno Guimaraes, and I think he's very much of the two midfielders in Tonali and Guimaraes, I'm of the view that he is far more of a desirable asset than Tonali ever will be, even though he's a couple of years older, just from the simple fact of, if you're a team that's trying to, I think he'd be perfect for a Chelsea or a Man United, just from his seniority perspective. He's sort of someone that's a leadership figure that may not be asked to carry the armband. You can never have enough of those. And it's hard to imagine, even though he may be open to the Arsenal project, obviously you can understand them being after a player in that sort of profile, but I don't understand why the player would be interested in that, because he wouldn't necessarily play as often as you'd ideally want. But from an Arsenal perspective, it's a very sensible move in terms of getting an 8 that is more of a creative, has a bit more creativity to them, such that you can obviously have the possibility of being having a bit more solidity in a Zubimendi Rice type move. But at the same point, if you want to open the game up, then move Rice back to the 6 and then bring in a sort of, I think Alex Scott would be perfect given where he is in his career. He'd obviously be open to move to a bigger club. At that same point, he'll be accepting that you'd like to think that, well, if I was representing and saying, accept the fact that you won't play every week, but you will get used in the sort of the bigger games, and that's where you show your value, would be more perfect than the sort of Guimaraes. It's that, and sort of pivoting to sort of Newcastle, when you're sort of hearing that Guimaraes is starting to get attention, obviously Tonali is getting attention, it's a matter of, it just made me think that if you're a Man United, obviously they're obviously linked with Mateus Fernandes at West Ham. From a tactical perspective, I think it'd be very prudent to, if you are in the market for a left back, to potentially look to move your attentions to signing Lewis Hall, just from the simple, if he is your number one target as an added competition for Luke Shaw, because every team only has a certain amount of genuine sellable or coveted targets. And using the basic law of supply and demand, the less supply you have, the greater the price is. And in a scenario where Lewis Hall would command, 55, 60 million, that goes up 5-10 million if Guimaraes moves on and Tonali moves on. Not to mention Livramento. So if you are in a market for Lewis Hall, whether it be a Chelsea with what's his name, Cucurella on the move back to Spain, and United, as I said, wanting competition for Luke Shaw, I'd be very strongly considering pivoting or trying to co-juggle my Mateus Fernandes' pursuit with moving for Lewis Hall. But yeah, that's the thing in terms of, they've already lost Gordon. Tino Livramento, I think it's a matter of time, because even though he's got injury troubles, he's someone I really respect and likes as a player. I personally think he should have more suitors than he currently appears to do. But as I said, you'd even add Lewis Hall to that, and you're going, where does that leave? That leaves Newcastle right at the very beginning, obviously with a big haul to rebuild the squad. But when I was sort of looking at Newcastle and asking myself how have they ended up in this situation, it's a quite simple one. It's very much, obviously you could say poor recruitment, but I think it's a very general term you can just put on the headline of an article and not really have to dive into why, but it's they obviously had that foundation of a solidity and identity when you sort of consider their sort of their defense and their midfield being sort of overly physical, enjoying a slow game and all that type of thing. But when you consider the amount of fees they pay for a Harvey Barnes and Anthony Elanga, obviously they seem relatively one-dimensional based signings. They don't seem the player profile that is slightly different but still aligns to what they currently had. So you can sort of, it's an evolution of an identity. And when you're signing players at that level, in my view, you're sort of putting yourself at that top echelon and with very little ability to resell. And what I mean by that is you've got the bank of teams, whether it be a sort of say Arsenal or Man City in an echelon on their own, and you've got that band underneath of like a Man United, currently a Man United, Chelsea, irrespective of where they finished, Liverpool, you probably put in between the Arsenal, Man City bucket and the Man United Chelsea bucket, just based on last season. Am I missing anyone else? Then you've got a big gap underneath to sort of like, let's say, a reasonable gap. Put Villa in there, sure. You're going any club underneath that, because PSR is what it is. In order to maintain healthy PSR compliance whilst also giving yourself a steady stream of cash, you're going to need a strong influx of young players that, irrespective of whether they make it or not, you can sell for pure profit. And at that same point, your recruitment has to be such that every signing, you have to have a vision of have you got a role that can allow them to sell them on to a PSG for 100, and you sort of look at Bournemouth. Is this not to say that this is not me saying they're on similar levels, but Bournemouth have accepted where they are on the footballing pyramid and buying into that. And if you were to say every signing, Bournemouth sort of looking at signings in the sort of the 15 to 30 range, if you add an extra 7.5 million onto that and say Newcastle target players, the same demographic, same playing style, whatever, and then continually sign those young players that you want to be a stepping stone, they all share common personality traits and player profiles that you can then sell on. It all helps and means you can, in my head, better navigate the precariousness that is PSR. And it's just that whole thing of their recruitment didn't really align to what the foundation they had, and they didn't accept where they were in the pyramid. And if you accept where you are in the pyramid, and therefore you recruit with the same sort of values, you can turn Newcastle into a Bournemouth plus, essentially. And when you have a stadium of whatever it is, 50, 60,000, you could easily turn that into something, and then that ends up consistently at the 5th, 6th range. Look at Villa. They could easily become a Villa, or a Villa type. Actually, let's go to a Sea of Thieves. Actually, sorry. They could easily become a Villa, but it's the thing. As I said, they haven't really acted with sort of the lack of alignment and all that type of thing. Just going quite just. So in an effort. Nice. So right, so let's change this to. That didn't change, even though it said stream updated. Sea of Thieves. Perfect. What? Back adventure. High seas. My ships. The Codfather. So of course the plan was sort of from a sea of. I got my shirt. I do. I'm going to put that on, even though it's sweltering hot, because I've got a leather chair. I'd rather not become one with it. 1 second. I stayed in my chair, but I'm back. So, pleasingly... Whoa! Didn't mean to do that by accident. Nice! And let's get a bit more comfortable. Open barrel. It's an empty barrel. Great. 1 second. Excuse me. Wonder if you start shooting if everyone would just start. Would anyone pay any attention? Or would they just go right and just let rip into you? That'd be interesting. Not going to experiment, but still. Right, is there anything I can see? No world event that I can witness. So, we will go forward and... Oh, I turned the light off. No. Hello? Thank you. $20 Hunter's Call. Right, so they're not really... Defeat waves and phantoms and the captain to claim its plunder inside. Hunting voyages. The Raging Bull. Meh. Merchant Alliance. Raid voyages. Oh, okay, so it's do fourths. Nah, let's just... We'll do world events. What was that? Challenge your smuggling skills. Elicit contraband along the special routes marked for... Nah, let's... We'll do the map ting. Dive. Cool. Sail down. I'll grab on you. So hopefully, even though I'm down and into wind, somehow I'm still moving forward. Thank you, Sea of Thieves, for the logic. I think I remember rightly. I need to turn the sail into it. Oh yeah, is that thing? I was trying to do a thing of here we go. Perfect. What a strange island. Ooh, nice. We'll go over there after. we'll definitely go for that after, because that looked reasonably close. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Oh, hello! Dead. Come here, you fucker. Nice. Pick up you, pick up you. Grab you. Chicken. Right. Let's look at this monstrosity of an island. Okay. So I'm right there with that below me. Nothing's on it, so that's good. So we will go into these woods. It's about here. I say about, not literally. 1 second. Actually, let's get my bearings back. Okay, so that's there. So it's here. Sorry, excuse me. There we go. One more, and then we'll fight them. Whoops. Hello. Any more? Christy, still got that, which is good. Leave my head alone, thank you. Let's go back to here. Okay, so that's over down this pathway. So it's here. Cool, so we'll go to this one. So that's going up to there. So a bit further along, it's this one. So it's about here. Yeah. Ooh, nice. This is Reaper's stuff. Check it's not. Oh, this isn't going to mean a... Galleon's Grave Outpost by 2 AM. 1 crate of cannonballs. Right. Okay. Let's grab you. Reaper's Bounty. Nice. Have I got my thing above there? Maybe, I'm not sure. I think I do, actually. So I'm now 1 juicy peach. Right, I need to... Yeah, so I'm... If I end up with 2, then I'm going to get lit up like a OnlyFans model's only account. Oh, balls. I need to look see where the Reaper's hideout is, that reminds me. Do you think if I end up with 2, yeah. That is, I got I've had a BBL done and a new cleavage put on. In that particular point in time. I'm attracting both boobs and arse men. Right. So let's do that to there. Let's then look at the map. So I'm now very desirable. So I'm still miles away from them. Let's just go in that direction. Actually, let's just check. This is Reapers, so I need to... Where is it? That's down there. And then Reaper's hideout is still a reasonable sail from there to there. What's this one? That's Reaper's. That's Crook's Hollow. I don't need you. It's just as far, so I might as well go down and just go out with one bountiful haul. I know. Right, so let's go over there and kick bottom. Hopefully the servers are dead, so it should be fine. Good. So perfect, we'll do this. Am I downwind? No, I'm not. Let's then go underground, overground, it's become a womble. Fine. Oh, there's the hole! I was struggling to find the hole, sorry. It's me storing my teenage years? What's over there? Anything of note? Let's go over. I'll try and be quick on this. Actually, what we'll do, we'll try and get a bit of a swing this way, and we'll do a quick, not quite U-y, but try and face in a more advantageous direction that gets us in that way. I'm also trying to stay relatively, if I could get actually one of the horns of the wind, or whatever they're called, the blowy tuber that produces air, and I'd be a happy bunny. Hopefully then that tornado-y thing. Let's stop you. Go. Anything here? Because currently there's nothing. 2 stars. I'm just going to leave. Hello. We'll grab that. Grab you. King's chest. And we'll move. Playing because this is shiny. And we'll go down the other end. What we'll do that, and I need to do that way. You should go up. No, you don't. Check this way. Is it this way or this way I need to go? Under. No. Right, we move. I'm going to say quickly and easily does it. We go up. Where's my boat? Other side, probably. Go. Which one is perched on? Is it just the air's keeping it up? Okay, so we'll go sails. Actually, so yeah, let's just turn this wheel all the way this way. We'll head in that direction. Perfect. Raise me up so I can stand on a mountain. Don't hit, don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Perfect. Okay, we'll go there. We'll go that way. Oh, good. I'm into wind. That's great news. The wind's changed since I went under. That's really annoying. Let's see if I can just do this. May go up actually. Climb the ladder. This is fine in this storm, isn't it? Yeah, it'll be fine. What's that? Nope. Yeah, that's all good. I'm very aware I'm going at a slightly different angle, but my hope is I keep getting that, and I can just pivot, or hope that the wind... Let's see if I can just tweak it slightly. Cool. I heard a noise. I don't like it. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. That's fine. It's fine. Right, so he's behind me. Why is... I've got water coming on, but I can't... Where is it? Right, so that's gone. So I need to go under and repair that. Right, where have you just gone? Oh! Right, shit. Go that way. Right, fuck. That was meant to happen. Wood next. Wood. And more wood. No. Cool. And we're still online. That can wait. Where am I going again? Ooh, another ship. Right, there's another ship there I can already see. So I want to go this way. Staying well away from it. I can hear myself taking on water. I swear. I knew I could hear something. I changed the gun to a sniper rifle. Just for range, it makes more sense. Right, let's look at you. Where's the wind now? Okay, so I need to change the angle of the dangle. It's about there. Can see that ship there. My hope is he doesn't pay any attention to this and I can just get away with my angle of the ship. If I can just get away out of sight and I'm happy. I didn't want to... There's a ship over there. You can just about see the birds. You're not turning. Go. I'm miles away, no. Right, so let's sail length up. Let's then... About there, perfect. Just need repairing. Need to get closer. See if there's anything else on it. Right, Horn of the Wind. I need Horn of the Fairy Winds, whatever it's called. So that just means I've got a bit more gas if I need it. Let's go under. Right, let's go. Perfect. Another one of these. Perfect. That's... Which way? Go this way first. Go back the other way. I don't particularly... Ooh, cannonball crate. That's another one. That's one of the achievements, I want to say. That message in the bottle. So I'm dropping out to the surface. Just for the simple fact of... Alright, so we'll grab... There's at least one. Not you. Drop. Let's move you to there. Because of how desirable an asset I am, I want to get moving and sharpish. Thank you. So is there anything else that's not Smuggler's League? Smuggler's League, no. Right, let's do a final sweep as I go back out the boat. And and then we'll just grab it and go. No. Right, we move. I'll check up there. Oh, hello. What are you? This is smugglers. Ooh. Shark. Smugglers, smugglers, smugglers. Castaway's chest. Right, so now let's get up aboard and hope I can grab all of this. Should be able to. Oh. Okay, cool. Let's get everything up here. Let's then move you. Cool. Okay, so now I want to go. Let's check the map. Turn around, that's for certain. That's where I want to go. So I want to turn back and go in that direction. Left wheel. So up sail. Up sail so we can just turn. We'll go left. And we'll get you up. I heard something. Right, so that's there and about to go off, it looks like. So let's go in this direction, shall we? Yeah. I'm not getting burnt alive. Right. Turn around. Need to turn around. Just let it bash into it. Right, right, that one, that one, that one. Oh, this is really annoying. Making an arse of this royally. Do that. We'll turn and we'll go slowly. Let's go there. Gonna go in. Go. I need this crate. Where's galleons? Flames End. Ancient Outpost. Plunder. Let's get going. We need to go in the direction we're facing, so that's good. Whoops. Oh, am I just turning? Or are you... I thought that was going to be fine. Where am I facing now? I thought it was all good. I just turned around. Right. Let's get in the right direction first. Go this way. Am I going the right way? Yes. Perfect. Am I going the right way? No, I'm not. Still going the wrong pissing direction. I should go forward. Does this still need repair? Right, I'm going the right direction for once. Right. Hello, Aurora. How are you? Sorry, I was away with the fairies. So, zoned out completely. Right. Where's my sales going? Aurora, are you still here? I was... Otherwise, my attention was elsewhere. How long ago was your message? Doesn't say. That's annoying. Oh well. Right. Boat. Turn. Hard. I am ignoring you. I can now. Sorry, I had something up on my other screen, but I am here. I'm present. I'm trying to stay away from that pissing boat. I can see you loud and crystal clear. Right. So that one doesn't seem to be very Nope. Nope. That one. I need to put down my pipe. So I can see your message. How are you doing? Wind. It needs to be a bit more to the left. Very much so to the left. Actually, stick on... Yeah. Yeah, apologies. I had my friend messaged me on the other screen. So I sort of closed OBS, and then by the time I am... A lot of dead boats. Right, I still need to go left. My ability to read a map is really failing me today. Well, for the last 5 minutes. I need to focus up a bit. That's obviously an outpost. Annoying thing, obviously, it's this. Any boats? Doesn't appear to be. The Aurora Borealis. Sorry. First thing that popped to mind. Right, I'm here. I would like to press. Thank you. Still feels like my hole. There's a hole in my boat. Oh yeah, I can But Aurora, are you still here? Right, my map's in the wrong direction. Perfect. I need to go hard left now. Hard left. Right. Let's make sure I'm going in the right direction. Right. Fucking... literally, it's... Get distracted for 2 seconds and I'm already facing the wrong direction. Perfect. Straighten this bad boy up. I really feel like, even though I'm... Oh, I have a feeling I've overcorrected again. I have as well. Right, that'll be it. Right, come on. Right, come on. I don't know what's up with my keyboard. It feels slightly laggy. Right, there we go. That's where I am at. Oh my giddy aunt. Come. Nearly there. And so far I've gone away a bit unscathed. Which is good. Touch wood. I don't... Right, let's straighten her up and try and get my wind right. There we go. We're... No, that's just a rock. Even stream feels fine, but just like movement's a bit all over the place, and I don't know. I must be doing something wrong. Holy Moses. turn, pissing thing! He's gonna blow this to Kingdom Come. Go forward! Like, I'm just glitched onto the... There we go. I really don't understand what I'm doing. Generally, and why I'm so squaffy. It's like the wind's changing? I don't know. Meow. Holy Jesus, I need to go right now. Right. So, my hands have stopped working. Right, okay, so let's do that. We'll go down to a walk type pace, sailing wise. We'll raise you up and try and get as close as we can as possible. And we'll strain her up. Shit. There's another hole. It explains why I'm struggling. Where should I go? I'll try this way first. No. Oh, dude, let's try and company shop. See what this does. Ministry license. Now we'll sell all this, hopefully at a profit. Another 30k. Go on, son. Oh, balderdash. So let's try a different use. Let's try there. Or not. See what this does. Go over here. Well, this works. Oh, balls. Ah! Right, can I get up on that? No. No! Am I a pissing idiot? Oh my giddy aunt. Oh my aunt. Right, so I'm currently stuck Oh my giddy aunt, this is annoying. There we go.
Pledge your allegiance to Captain Flameheart, King of the Seas. Go forth in my father's name and revel in his return.
How do you raise the flag while being an idiot?
I seek to restore the natural order. Burn your way across the Sea of Thieves.
Is it up here? Oh! Ah! Right, now I'm glitched. Oh my giddy aunt, I'm so done. Oh, I was expecting that to do this, but it clearly didn't. Right. See if this doesn't. Should. Hopefully, all of this gets it over the line. But if there is anyone else here, I can see your message. Those otherwise engaged, which is now over. I swear they're always 5,000. So these are around 7,500 normally. Yeah, there is. Normally it had that thing in brackets, wouldn't it? Good. So sell lower and then we'll go from there. So one of them's a galleon outpost. Where's that? It's like sanctuary. Wish there was a search bar. Right, I need to take that there. I need to go there. Right turn. No holes. Wow, go on, son. Yeah, there is. There's a hole. How many holes ago? Oh, not again. Right, get off, get off, off! There's a hole somewhere. Music is still playing and I don't like it. I need to go hard right now. I still hear water. There we go. Right, I need wood. Let's practice my building skills from down here. It's like there. I'm still pissing, turning. Oh, for the love of God. Right, where am I going? Going the wrong direction. Great news. Arg. Not the good best time, Hist. I'm literally... Oh. Essentially, the best way to describe my sailing right now is just keep drawing a circle. And just move the arrow forward, your line forward a bit. Oh, mate, it's, Of course, as you can tell, I'm keeping my calm at all times, and I've got those fuckers chasing me. My anchors needs my attention. Right, let's put my wood there. Every cloud. Right. But as you can see, it's always important to keep your calm. Always keep calm at all times. Yeah. Anything more than once is a struggle. You know, being a men can only think of one thing at once. Right. Nope. Right. Well, everyone can only think of. No one can multitask, irrespective of what women say. They are lying. They think they can, but they can't. Right. Good news. I'm still going in the right direction. I've got my horn to blow with. Change of wind. What's that way? Is that where I'm going? Nope. Yep. What's over there? Oh, it's just a thing in the sky. That's good. But yeah, how are you? It should keep me going forward, shouldn't it? It should do. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Dagger tooth. I can't stop here. Nice! I see you! Whoops. Am I still going the right way? Yes, that's good. Well, I'm trying to think of. So, basketball wise, sort of the main two things I can think of that have happened recently ish, in terms of the hardcore NBA, would be Austin Reeves' extension, which was, to me, there's never any other doubt. And any of the reports that saying that the Lakers over 20, I think it was 48 hours prior to their extensions were at 30 and they suddenly raised it to 48. Quite simply, I don't believe, because negotiations don't increase in pace that fast because there's no deadline. And then the only other one would be in NBA would be the LaMelo Ball trade to Memphis, and ultimately just feels like to me that it is the front office combining wishful thinking along with a quiet fear that in a year or two's time they'll be in the exact same position that the Bucks were in and had to resort to trading Giannis. That's my ultimate opinion, is that sort of because it's too much of a confusing fit with them both being ball handlers, and the fact that it just feels like too much of an NBA 2K type move. But it's the fit doesn't quite work, and yeah, it just I wonder if it's sort of in a sort of a similar way. The best parallel I can give you would be the Dexter Lawrence, Cincinnati trading for Dexter Lawrence, in a respect of, we hope Joe Burrow doesn't want to move on quietly, so we'll make a very aggressive move, just so the optics to him are, we are generally trying to rewrite the wrongs of building around him, all that type of stuff. That's what it feels like to me, but fails to address the core point. Not the core point. Do you know what I mean? Is the root cause. It's not the... Obviously, they traded away Nas Reed, which you easily work around, sorry, is a good piece. They gave up far too much, and they're ultimately still reading the bruise of Rudy Gobert. Nothing's happening in the NFL world. I was stunned, actually. Have you seen... You still here, Hist? Have you gone? Predator Cannonball, Guardians Outpost by 2 a.m. on the 9th. Yeah, still here. Have you seen how many void years Myles Garrett's new reworked deal has? It's crazy. I mean, he may not be quite a contract buff, but I don't want to do that. It's got 8 void years. 8. And I'm just making the point at the beginning that if you go on like Over the Cap or any of those websites and look at the deal, and sort of my ultimate point was wondering if void years have gone too far, because if the quote-unquote teams that are perceived to be rich in terms of talent and where their roster is can do that degree of a contract restructuring. What do you mean it's not full? Right. We won't go to you, ungrateful son of a you-know-what. But it's if void... sort of proposing the thing of, are void years a bit out of hand? Because if, say, I don't know, the Eagles are always one, the Rams are another, and if void years are point where you can add 8 onto a deal, you ungrateful son of a... Where the piss are you on to take me? Right, so it's not full enough. Right, I'm going to try something, because I'm completing this damn mission if it... I say if it kills me, because I'd rather it wouldn't. But yeah, it's the... If the Rams or teams that have rosters are in a good position can use void years to the point where they can keep every single good player, and there's the danger of you creating too much of a chasm between the perceived rosters that are rich and the poor. And that's the difficulty that they have, or I can see that they may have, if right, now that's full. Right, let's complete this mission. But yeah, I'll be in the NFL, and based on the fact you're based over in the States, and I won't go into any Premier League stuff, but there's a couple of points that I covered then. So this is full, so hopefully you're not going to be how much of a diva-ish and you complete the mission or the message in the bottle. Hooray! Ooh. Yeah, you don't follow the Premier League much, do you? Or a bit, but... Right? Yeah, some. I mean, it's... I want to see what titles I have. There's a couple. What does it be? It would be, I'm sort of talking about Newcastle in terms of where their team could end up, sort of being at ground zero, and with a... Let's look at my promotions and titles. Right. What is that? Ooh. Cool. No. Yeah, pretty much. But it's, yeah, obviously you can sort of point to Arsenal's perceived pursuit of Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle, which I could understand sort of the appeal of the player, but from a sort of an agent's perspective, as that was the industry I wanted to go into, doesn't really seem a as much of their big team. I'm not entirely sure that Bruno Guimaraes should want to be on the bench for that amount of time. And then we're sort of then pivoted towards Man United. If Man United are in the market for a left back, and you have a Newcastle where all players are getting snapped up, then they may need to pivot away from targeting Mateus Fernandes and go after a Lewis Hall, or try and juggle both at the same time, just for the simple fact of every player has a limited amount of desirable assets. And if, say, Arsenal do get Guimaraes, I don't know, Man City go after Tonali after they complete what's his name, Elliot Anderson, or, you know, someone goes after Tino Livramento. The basic law of supply and demand is if your supply of coveted assets goes down, then the price goes up. So if you're after a Newcastle player, then it's very prudent to actually, I'm just going to jump onto Balatro, exit to desktop. Perfect. Yeah, very prudent to get that done first. If you're after a Newcastle player, get your skates on. Right, so let's change the game that I'm playing. So I'm going to do a Balatro for a bit, and then if you're ever about Hist, you may want to stop by on Sunday, because I'm strongly considering doing some Dead by Daylight and scaring the bejesus out of me. So if you want a bit of a kick or a giggle, or see me suffer, and stop by tomorrow. It's a game I've seen a lot, but bought it and never played it on stream properly. So why not learn in front of the general public? -1 end size. Right, so let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm after a 10. Ask and he shall receive. Oh, it was nearly a Actually, what I'm gonna do? Try and pull a straight flush with 3 cards. Oh, nearly. Oh, I did! Nice, straight flush. Woo! You can tell people don't get out much where a straight flush on Balatro could sort of provides a kick. So, not really. Right, left or right? Which buffoon? Left or right, people? Ugh. Right is always right. Someone says left now, and I'm just not. Ooh. I'll do that one. In reality, it is well, as much as no, that's fundamentally useless. Okay. Cool. Jack, thank you. Asking you shall receive. I'm very aware this won't get me over the line. But now... let's try and go for a 8. Oh, I haven't got... Right, we shall slog it out. So I'm done 120. That's 40. So we've got 18 plus 6, 24, 24, 44, 80. Get me close. Do that. And he gets an 8. Of course he does. Do that. Oh, he does. Just about gets over the line. Bang. Might as well double that. Let's see, there's an extra 4. So let's... I haven't... So that was a -1 hand size. Left into right. Please be one of those ones where it's... Must play 5. Jesus Christ. Do that, because I don't know what I'm converting it towards. I'd rather just... You know... Do that. Let's try and get 4 of a kind, actually. Let's go hardcore for the queen. Don't want to go too aggressive. Let's just play. Oh, I thought it would get me over the line. Damn it. Jack 10, 9, 8, 7. Nice. Ah, that's annoying. I'm not actually going to use... I'm going to sell that. Go for this one. Must play 5 cards. Right, okay. Perfect. Three of a kind. I can do that. That's a full house. This is just a money starter, if you will. Right, that was only play 5 cards. Hearts are debuff. So I can, after that, I can start building for hearts, which is pleasing. I need to get rid of that. Play. That's 3 of a kind. So let's try and go for it. You're not helping. Right, so the ones I get... Right, watch me do this. It'll be a 2-pair, and if I get over the line... Oh. Didn't use that again. You know, okay now. There we go. It's alright, so I can easily just... Right. Okay, so let's... So let's just up level that. Strengthen. So that's $4. That's a full house. So might as well just get rid of and hope so. Okay. Right, so let's do this. Trying to get 4 here. Really? Right, I'm sticking with this. There we go. Finally. Very much maybe it's an incredibly stupid thing to do, but I'm not at first. And it doesn't even get me over line. Great news! Next. Don't know what hand I'm actually playing for. Right, we need a queen. Balcony shall receive. Thank you. Yeah, why not? Actually, hang on. 3. Drops me to 4. Gets me up to 8. Actually, let's do that. Because that means I play less cards. We're going for 10s and 4s. Oh, look at that. So, actually, this should, question mark, get me over the line. Let's do this one. So what I'm going to do is essentially... Oh, and then there's the... I'm going to do this. Because I like aces as a general rule because of the jokers that it plays himself into. Face cards. Okay. So, you got 10s in that. Right, what suit are they? So they're not spades and they're not the diamonds and hearts. Let's actually just play for 10s and 4s. That can go. Okay. Let's make sure I'll try and get an extra 5. Extra 4, sorry. Got my discard. So I'm going to get over the line regardless. Thank you. It's free. That contains a straight, so that can go. Run info. That can also go. When scored. Let's get these. We'll do next. Investment tag. No, why not? Cool. Nice. Couldn't hurt. We're good for down the line, I suppose. One hand typed in this round. Okay. So let's, as always, 10s and 4s. We can ideally move towards that. That'd be great. Okay. I don't like that. Whoa! Oh, I had that. Oh, you... Ah... I need to just really go ham on discards. I fucked it. Try that. Need to somehow get sewed in this one. Fucked it. No. That was really frustrating. Bang. Ooh. It was tiny. Wee little Joker. Let's do that. Can we holographic and polychrome? Hmm. No, I'm just gonna sell it. For each played two, when each played two is scored, right? So this should get me points. No, why not? Each played two. So I'm saving that for a 2. Right, I'm saving it for a 2 so I can get this. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Nice. Oh, I should have... Ah, moron. Try this one. Common, rare, uncommon. I can make it work. Clubs. Right. Remember to wait for 2s. Right. We're building around 2s, everyone. Okay. So I could essentially... What I could do... Let's do that. No, let's not. Let's just play that. And then we'll do 3 of a kind with change. And then we busk the rest. Actually. Doing it tactically. Hang on, that one. Use. Cool, perfect, thank you. Destroys 5. Creates the planet. Yeah, cool. So let's try and... Bang. Okay, destroy 2. Let's get rid of these 2. Oh, it's very... You don't have to, honestly. Please don't. Because obviously, I'm sure it's not too far... Not too dissimilar from over here where not quite times it off with the cost of living, but it's not to sound soppy or anything, but actually just being here for a streamer that doesn't have any viewers is enough for donation. Right. We're going for this. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to be tactical about it. Because in my mind, it's a good one to... It's a personification that size doesn't matter in this situation. Right. Got one discard, so let's try and... Perfect. Right. If I do that, no, that, I just want to... Oh, that works out perfect. Nice. Touchdown. Even though I did very little because this is anti-3, but still. I find that very satisfying. I won't upgrade it twice, will it? Hanging Chad is... Let's do this one. That's a pissability. Times 5. No, that inadvertently makes your hand narrower. In my mind. 1 in 6. Smiley or gross. Or gross. What did Prince think in general about the NFL? It's kind of, I call it sort of two camps. One is the more, how do I put it? I'm not quite right wing. It's a wrong choice of term because I don't want to bring politics into it. But it's the, no, we're very much focused on British sports like cricket, football, and all those kinds of things. But then there are some that are more generally the more expansive, and like sort of not quite the glitz and the glamour, but the sort of tie into sort of the glitz and the glamour, and just ultimately something different. I'm just gonna go with this one. I haven't got any space for any of the others. Can I get rid? Maybe. But I just like it in terms of... The reason I like American sports in general, not just the NFL, is I very much enjoy the sort of the talking points that come about from the roster-based building decisions, whether it be sort of navigating the salary cap of who to draft and sort of the tactics around the draft. And like, for instance, I'm one that really enjoys sort of what the Jags did and sort of letting Travis Etienne and Devin Lloyd go and sort of and trying to embrace the compensatory picks route, and you're sort of looking ahead to why they drafted the 2 receivers in the 5th and the 6th just as a sort of an insurance policy. If they work out, they can let Parker Washington walk for free, but that's getting off piece. But to answer your initial question, I think most they kind of do, but it's not as much of a talking point. But it's I suppose in the Premier League, it's who you're bringing. They do and they don't. Where it's you're correct in the fact that they have do in some degree. So in the Premier League, you may or may not have heard the term PSR, standing for profit and sustainability rules. Essentially, there are rules brought in place, the theory being that clubs don't end up like Bury, and they're a club that went bust. And but it's very much most fans don't know the sort of the minutiae of it and just sort of treat it like this ethereal thing that may or may not exist. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of a way of describing it. tempted to sell that for that. I mean, highly suicidal, but I really am not that bothered. But yeah, it's and at that same point, in terms of the British sports don't have roster decisions, they do, but it's the most British fans just want players to come in, and any discussion of who they want to get rid of, there is very little practical, how do I say it? They very rarely speak the wider context of things. They'll say, I want to get rid of him, and you're going, right, okay, when, how, etc., etc. And even in terms of blocking pathways, that whole discussion you hear more in the NFL of sort of building through the draft and not bringing in players that stop development or those kinds of things. But what am I doing? Right, let's focus on, yeah, we're going for face cards just for that. And hopefully a 2 like that pops his head up. I've heard the name. Isn't he a sort of a... He's a NFL guy, and some of the time he has some... Is he the one that has some really stupid opinions, right? Am I thinking of someone else? Not stupid opinions. I've heard he's an NFL journalist. I remember that. I'm correct on that, aren't I? He's NFL. Who am I thinking of? I know Skip Bayless is the one that how do I put it? I'm not his biggest fan, and he's not on my Christmas card list. He's the one I'm thinking of. Right, okay. So double 28. Meh. If I could duplicate, that'd be great, but... Hermit. Yeah, so memory serves is... Oh, right, okay. Oh. That's not a flyer. Next. So we're boosting that while at the same point playing 2s. Right. Okay. So I can get away with... And let's play that. Not terrible. Let's do a good discard. Because in theory we're going for 2 pairs of... I haven't got that, so I can literally just go boom, 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 boom. Boom. One of the sort of the journalists that I like watching on TV, especially, is Pete Prisco of CBS. I like his stuff. Well, I've generally heard of him through he does a radio show for Jacksonville. Ooh, that doesn't really as much as journalist wise. I like Miguel Delaney. I forget what publication he's associated with. Miguel Delaney's good. I like the journalists that are a bit more articulate with their articles. But at the same point, not just how do I say it? There's yeah. So Miguel Delaney's up there, Henry Winter, think of that for a second. So with 2 pairings, so we're upgrading my you-know-what. Miguel, they're the first 2 that come to mind. Max Rushton, I'm not familiar, but I may be more familiar with his face. Mark Ogden, meh. But they'll be the 2 that I have. They're both good. Tim Vickery, he's good for Brazil. Sort of he's a South American correspondent. Max Rush. Yeah, he's more a presenter rather than sort of a journalist. We'll go this one, of course. I need to upgrade Uranus. Someone 25. That doesn't. It's not really in play, but I could build towards it, I guess. What for? In the NFL by a country mile in terms of sort of journalist media personality, Skip Bayless by a country mile. You'd be someone that I'm going to build towards it because I'd rather have a ×3 than whatever. Yep. One more. Yeah. Is there any journalist in British sport that I don't like? I dislike? Sporting sort of what you call personalities, content creators that I'm not a huge fan of, but that's a different story. 2. Right. Is it worth just playing it? Might as well just get value out of it. I can't think of any British ones that jump to mind to answer your question. Oh, it's 2 pairs. Fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. And that also, I always get a bit too caught up in that sense. It contains 2 pair, not is exactly 2 pair. Erg. Right. Damn. That's the only one shown I have. Martin Samuel, he's another good British one. Journalist. Whenever he's on TV, he always comes across very articulate. Not really a... But yeah. So yeah, my sort of top 3 journalists, top 3, top 4 be Miguel Delaney, Henry Winter, and Martin Samuel whenever they're on. Darren Lewis, he's also good. Well, comes across really well on TV. Lovely. So now I might as well just... We're going hard for the face cards. Because that's why we're playing into that. Woo! Let's discard these. Soccer announcers or play-by-play. Peter Drury. If it's soccer announcers, Peter Drury by a country mile. Martin Tyler, who sort of the main broadcaster we have is Sky and TNT Sports. Peter Drury replaced Martin Tyler. They've both got sort of iconic voices. No, hang on. Pause. Play that. Peter Drury, yeah. If you like watching videos where it's sort of iconic commentary, then Peter Drury would be hands down. He's incredibly poetic in what he says. Darren Fletcher, not the footballer, but he's a play-by-play for TNT. He's really good. Not quite as poetic, but he's a good announcer that when he's paired with Ali McCoist, they're a great broadcast. He'd be someone that if you're looking for someone to crease up with, Ali McCoist would be is a good colour commentator. Because he's Scottish and he often does Premier League games, he's clearly unbiased and he's got a great sense of humour. That would be someone I'd strongly encourage you to watch. I'll show you a video and it's not show you, or if you just sort of like innuendo and all that kind of things that make you laugh, and I have the videos for you. If you're going more broadly in terms of announcers, I like, naturally you go NHL, you go to Doc in ice hockey, Mike Emmerich. He's one hell of an announcer. Iconic. Wonder how this plays out. Yeah. It's like sort of an NFL announcer. Obviously, you've got Joe Buck. Don't mind him. Al Michaels. Obviously, I'm literally just naming all the good ones because obviously they're number one crews for a reason. But pause. Actually, let's keep this. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on, not sound stupid, any twos. And that is why. Being ballsy here. But in my head it's... Oh, I still got it over the line. Sorry, I didn't mean to go that high. I have gone through puberty, honest. Sort of the interesting talking point is the... Hang on. Left into right. Oh, I got that around the wrong way. Lefts and rights. Whoops. Can I redeem myself? No, I can't. That is rather embarrassing. Might as well boost that. It's hella annoying. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get over the line. I need to still mold blackboard and try and play any That's why I haven't done a good enough job of. This is a flyer. Let's J this, you know what. Let's hope. Try this one. That's actually a pretty good try that. Not try that, but no. Doesn't really fit. Could sell that, I suppose. Yeah? I gonna be honest, I haven't really come across them that much. So I've sort of got rid of that one, so I could very easily pivot to so left to right. So in reality I'd like a red into a right there. All face cards are done there. So in reality I have to do that. So I could okay. See that into that. Left into right. They local radio, yeah? Or you mean the sort of the bears? Correct. As I said, there are teams I admire, but maybe business wise or whatever. Oh, so they're all the same color. That's good. So let's aim to tidy this up. I can't tidy it up. I have to play ones I'm certain what they are. That works. So let's play that just to make sure it boosts it. It's times 6. I mean, that's sort of very sort of not quite stereotypical, but if I was to pick a team, because my cousin lives there, I don't mind a bit of a soft spot for Barcelona. Bit of a soft spot, a slight soft spot for Barcelona. 1 second, left into right. Let's do this. Yeah. Need to then keep fueling this. Lower divisions. Wrexham. That's not just because of the Netflix documentary. We have a family friend whose family's based there, so that's why I sort of have a slight soft spot for Wrexham. It'd be great to hopefully see him in the Premier League one day, because I think he'd be very funny. Okay. So let's do that. $22.12. That's fine. Let's. Ooh. What to do? Let's play that. I'm doing a poor job of. Yeah. It's sort of you can't help respect, right? Well, I say respect. Whatever the word is. Teams run by, what's that? A bit of a Jim Harbaugh fan. Well, I'd say a bit of a fan. You know the. Yeah, I'm really doing a piss poor job of trying to let's see what hopefully just by praying it brings up another 2, but it doesn't. So I'm building nice, but not really molding my deck as well as I could be. Let's hopefully change that with this one. Right. Okay, so I can make that a bit more... Oh, goody. Right, I need to focus up here. 2s can go do 1 for all intents and purposes. Actually, let's keep that and... Possibilities. If I can get another ace, I'll be delighted. Perfect. Going a bit brave. But you have to be brave. Oh, speaking on the NRL. Like, there was a game yesterday. It was Leeds versus Hull KR for KR being Kingston Rovers. It was it's a standard fixture between the 2 teams. Oh, look at that. Perfect. It's and it was a special game because it was a MND not inspiration, what's the word? It was a fixture designed to sort of commemorate that. And after a... Yeah. So yeah, the Super League... So the NRL is for teams based in New Zealand, Australia, and soon to be in Papua New Guinea, because there's another expansion team. The Super League is the Northern Hemisphere equivalent. They're generally 2 competitions, the NRL and the Super League. A game just gone on Friday was Leeds versus Hull KR, a game that was designed to sort of commemorate, whatever the term is, motor neurone disease, and sort of Leeds Rhinos, who is sort of a team whose iconic past player was diagnosed and sadly lost his battle with motor neurone disease. Did special jerseys or whatever. Nice. And my parents actually went up from... So if you think of the UK, we're based down south. They went all the way up north to watch the game. Sort of 18,000, which in sort of a lot of American sports terms is barely anything, but it's a very raucous atmosphere, very much a community-based team, and yeah, it was one hell of a game. I watched it, yes, live and on TV, sorry. But it's yeah, it was something if you ever not quite bored, but okay. Right, so I need to get rid of this. Oh, it works. I didn't realize it was going to... Yeah, Super Rugby. So obviously the NRL is rugby league. Super Rugby is rugby union. I think rugby union, rugby league split in 17. Not a history lesson, but I do happen to know. Rugby league and rugby union came about from a split in 1795, and in terms of league health, you'd definitely say that NRL Australian driven is the far more not quite lucrative followed league, you'd probably say. It was because in Australia especially, they're very much they call it footy, they call rugby league footy, to clarify. Yeah, I play it from Australia is very much rugby league, and New Zealand is rugby union. So and to bridge over to sports, I was saying about Leeds Rhinos, which is the game that it was themed. A lot of the players are joining another expansion team in the NRL called the Perth Bears. Just absolutely no relevance whatsoever, but gonna get anyway, so might as well just get there. I think it's New Zealand Warriors. Yeah, and also, I don't get how much. That's a lie. One of the players that I'm not sure if he's injured still is a player called Morgan Gannon, and he's a player that was last season played for Leeds, made the move down under because, as you said, it's a more of a lucrative league, and you'd probably say rugby league in the Northern Hemisphere is probably say 4th or 5th tier in terms of popularity, and it's very regionalised to up north. So therefore the salaries and how much the media put money into it reflects that. So Morgan Gannon went from Leeds Rhinos to the New Zealand Warriors last season. He's currently there this season. Had 2 concussions, I think, and via mutual consent got a bit homesick, so he's going back at the end of the season. So it may be something to talk about with her. Or you could matchmake, I don't know. We're both very similar in the fact that we've got a very wide range of sports that we sort of follow. Like Aussie Rules is sort of I have no idea. This is one of those sports I put in the category where I have no idea what's happening. It's just pleasing to watch people run around and sort of run into each other, and of course you can sort of appreciate the skill components. But it's sort of one of those sports where I like to think, oh, that was very good, not knowing what a clue I've just seen or witnessed. 2. Perfect. Like, there are some sports that have more of an idea of what's happening, but Aussie Rules is very much in it is a real life kind of fish tank in terms of you've no idea what's happening, just it's nice to watch the fishies go run around. Fish don't run around. What am I talking about? Yeah. Yeah, cricket is essentially refined British baseball. That's the best way to put it. I said it was in a sort of my past part-time career as naturally a caddy at a prestigious course, and you get Americans that are asking similar questions where we have discussions like this, and they say try and explain cricket to me. I don't quite understand it, but yeah. Especially when India are involved, and it just that's what probably you'd say one of the most viewed in terms of statistics. One of the most viewed games would be any form of India-Pakistan cricket match. That would dwarf any Super Bowl. I'd challenge. It'd be up there. Ooh, look who's bragging. Christ. Right, let's play this. It shouldn't. Oh, so you know the NFL fairly well. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I'm saying you know Aussie rules fairly well. I'm going, how on God's name have you... That is, Look at me go. Oh my god, that actually... Nice. I'm glad M isn't here, because she'd have my guts for garters based on how convoluted my deck is. Thank God she's not here. She or he or they. It. Oh, wow. I bet you must love a mullet. Just by proxy. Just the amount of times you've watched Aussie Rules and clip. I mean, I don't know about it. It's frightening how much they love a mullet. And it's... Literally, you watch it and... Oh, I did at the very beginning. I was, rather than watching any sort of like patterns of play or whatever, I was going mullet, 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 bald head, mullet, mullet, facial hair, mullet, mullet. It was if I actually had any half decent ability to build decks, then my deck would be incredible, but at the moment in time it is piss poor. What? Flips and shuffles, or what does that mean? Right, you're gonna have to help me through this. I do not understand. I've never come across this Joker. Flips and shuffles or Joker cards. Right, I'm doing the sort of, even though I don't have webcam to mime it out, I'm praying across my chest. Oh, I know what that one is. Oh, so the problem you have is, doesn't really matter is which one the, okay. I don't know what to do. Right. This is where, is it shuffle at every hand? Wait to find out. Touchdown. It didn't matter. Hang on. So the shuffle, right? This game is hard. But now that I've mentioned it now, every next time I see or happen to be bored enough to put on Aussie Rules, which is sort of the category where I put it, I'm going to count, just from because of this conversation, every mullet that I see. I was about to say, do you like a mullet? But I imagine, based, not to bring it up, based on the fact that you're bald, I imagine you love any haircut. So relive your youth, probably. I feel slightly uneasy on the radio silence. I think you're cooking out one hell of a response. Let's go. I'm in the... Nice. I'm upgrading Uranus. Gotta pronounce it like that, just because I can feel the comment already being typed by yourself. Uranus. Here we go. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. When you say learn about what particular bit, I may be able to direct you as to best places to or just learn, be familiar, as in yeah, what particular part of the sort of the just what the teams are called, or let's do that. Fuck it. Woo. Let's see, hang on. Ah, okay. You're going to be there a while because you've got Championship, League 1, League 2. The Championship has 24 teams. League 1 has 20. And League 2 has 20 as well, 24. So you've got at least 64 teams. So you've got, say, 11 players, 8 on the bench. So that's 64 times 20 of just players alone. There'll be more than that. Then managers. So, I hope you got time on your hands. I probably just stick to, because actually teams. Hang on. Well, there's if you ever finish this run. Right, high card sets to 0. So essentially, don't play one. All right, what we'll do, we'll play that. Forget that. Not bothered. Okay. Let's go red. Discard. Perfect. Let's. Perfect. Missed out of the 2, but. Now, can I get this more red? Oh, right. Tempted just to hang them. Yeah. Teams that have some form of heritage to them, so therefore it's... Now, I'm not going to embarrass myself, my left and rights. Converts the left into the right card. That's the wrong way round. Converts the left into the right card. Yay! I got left and rights right. Someone that's 29, soon to be 30. Oh, no! Look at my many chips, Christ. Why not? Orange Justice. Do. Nah. Yeah. You could be there a while. It probably just go Championship and then one or two clubs from League 1, League 2 that... Because you sometimes get... Who's it this time? Was it Luton? Well, Leicester probably one where 2 years ago they're in the Premier League and then 2 seasons in a row it's got relegated and then relegated, and so you want teams like that. But if you're ever about after I finish this run, I'll direct you. Well, I don't mind directing you in teams in League 1, League 2 to not quite prioritise, but something like that. So let's do that. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. I got 5 on it. Now, this should be 2 pairs, but it won't be. Yeah. Should get over the line. Excellent. Moon. What proportion is it? Oh, wow, look at that. Nearly. I'm nearly. I did. I saw it the other day where, and because, of course, I support Jacksonville. He was someone that came across my feed and I thought Von Miller, and then I thought Von Miller. But yeah, that's how I found that out when I was sort of reading up on him. Really? Only 6? That's the thing that semi-annoys me about NFL media is obviously they're saying that we have a whole defensive end, edge rusher. And they're sort of going to sign Von Miller, and he's like 50 years old. I understand you go, ooh, Von Miller name, but it's sort of, for lack of a better term, the Pro Bowl principle. It's like, holy smokes. Yay. Well, in terms of, what do you mean? Soccer, what do you mean? In terms of be a bit sort of like mad and player reputations? I'd say in times past, you could very much make that case. But with a lot of teams, especially, say, take the Premier League an example, outside of, say, the top couple, you would even say that they're very much buying, you're saying buying names or brands. It's very much talent. Yeah. I'd probably say, as you rightly point out, sort of, Man United went through a stage that was arguably their downfall, rather than recruiting based on personality or player profiles, is who's going to sell the most jerseys. And believe it or not, big names and brands like Ibrahimovic, he respects how good or may not be, are more likely to bring an ego with them that then translates onto a Pogba or whatever. Let's do this. But here's just a random sort of story. Shevchenko is incredibly intelligent. And the reason I know that is I went to an interview at a very exclusive golf club in Surrey. And we were hearing the stories of how Shevchenko would teach his son. It was sort of when his son was like 2, 3, 4, was quizzing on every single capital city, and you're going, holy smokes. Like, capitals never heard of. It was a stupid golf club as well, in terms of how exclusive it is. Come back to you. Do this. Maybe skip that part. I can't believe that. It's only 6. Pitiful. I should have used that. Balls. Don't know why I've got Lion King in my head. Na Ziganya. Right. Hard hats on, everyone. I've forgotten who it was talking about. Lion King sidetracked me. Right, so that was a pair. So this was 3 of a kind. Obviously, I've got a flash up my sleeve. Let's try and do... So I've done 2. I've done a pair, 3 of a kind, full house. So now let's... Perfect. Which is, so we'll go 4 of a kind with these 2. This one. And worst comes to worst, got 5 of a kind there. Hooray! Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's I suppose my point was more the naturally not a huge fan of sort of the stuff like the Pro Bowls or a lot of things just based purely on their initial reputation rather than anything similar. That was more my point. Forgotten what that is. Don't know what it is, but we'll use it. Hang on, let's explore. That's at any suit. Does that activate the... that? Oh, it does! Perfect! Excelente. I'm screwed! I just saw the score! I have to get... Oh. Oh well. My brain just brained. I just realised what I was trying to do, but... Oh well. Right. Salute everyone. The ship's going down. One second. Nice. Right. We're going again. Welcome in if there's anyone new here. Right. Let's go group there. Start with no face cards. Okay. I always have to remember that I'm not I always forget how to play this one. I always have to be careful on that one because I sort of get my math. Although my math goes wafty a lot of the time. 987. Perfect. So this is the one where a lot of the jokers, obviously based on face cards, are pointless. Right, let's do that, I think. Which one? That one, I guess. Neither are my favourite. But does anyone know any DBD based content creators or people to watch? Because I'm intending on playing Dead by Daylight tomorrow because it's a game I downloaded but I haven't really played much on stream. I want to give it a proper go. Does anybody know anyone? I think I'm maybe semi-dead here. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. If I die here, I'm just calling it. Yeah, I'm dead, aren't I? I haven't even got 5. Damn it! Right. Is you still here? Have you gone? I'll give you a second to respondy doody. Cool. I'm going to call it there. It's been a massive pleasure as always. Thank you for those that stopped by. As I said, it's been a massive pleasure. I will get round to putting some clips out there. And really kickstarting this bad boy. I'm definitely getting the right headspace too, which is the main thing. Sort of getting out of my own way and yeah, all those types of things. Right. I'm definitely off this time. I waffled on long enough. Have a good afternoon, evening, or morning wherever you are. Take care. Stay safe in this heat. And I will see you then.